presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois.
In the zone that he called balls this evening. There you go.
Game ends on that pitch. Cubs win as Rogers strikes out. Cubs win, and they have won 75% of their games. 18 out of 24.
Cubs get it done. 7-2 your final. 18-6 Pirates fall to 15-11. 7-11-0. A whole lot better than 2-7-2. Hello, welcome to Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. He is Todd Hollandsworth. I'm David Kaplan. You got really good pitching again out of Jason Hamill. Offense just started stringing hits together, and finally broke through and win it going away.
Well, I mean, you go up against Garrett Cole. I mean, we get some history going back to last year, playing into the first game against the Pirates this year at PNC. They're off to a good start coming to the game 15-10. Cubs are rolling at the top of this division. You want to set the tone for the season. You come out against Garrett Cole, you run up his pitch count to 105 in the fifth. He doesn't get through 5. You get in their bullpen, you set yourself up. I mean, this has been their formula for success all season long. I love that Hamill comes out and does a fantastic job, but this team just plays well together. They feed off each other. That's the one thing that just stands out to me, is that the offense takes so much pressure off the pitching. The pitching does its job, and, oh, by the way, the bullpen did a pretty nice job as well.
And there's a number of people who said, well, who have the Cubs played? They just played Atlanta, and they played Milwaukee, and they've had two series with the Reds. Well, here you go in and play one of the better teams in baseball on their field, and you thump them pretty good.
Yeah, that's just people trying to find something to complain about. The bottom line is this. Players talk about this constantly. You go up against the teams you play. You don't write the schedule. You got to win the games. The bottom line is go out there and handle your business. And the Cubs have done a pretty darn good job of it this year, and that's the one thing that stands out. I hear about it all across the country every morning. This team is a very, very good team. They have an incredible offensive approach right now. They're getting great starting pitching. And like I said, the one thing that stands out to me that, like, you could say, well, the bullpen really hasn't been tested that much this year because they haven't had to go those numbers of innings very, very low. And interestingly enough, 55 innings from the bullpen, but 4 tonight, and they get the job done.
All right, let's go through our highlights. Bottom of the first, Andrew McCutchen, one of the best players in baseball, will take Jason Hamill deep. First home run he's allowed this season. Bucks up 1-0. He got the head of the bat out there, and he drove it.
A little tight slider right there on the outside part of the plate. Andrew McCutchen's swing coming around. This Pirates team has been really swinging the bats very, very well. McCutchen's the one who's maybe been a little slow to join in with everybody else, but I saw last week him starting to swing that bat, use the middle of the field, and you saw the approach right there on the pitch away. Drives that out over the right field wall.
All right, now let's go to the top of the third. Dexter Fowler, who's been red hot, led off with a walk. With 2 outs, he steals second. And then Anthony Rizzo will come to the plate, try and get the Cubs even. And Anthony Rizzo, there's the steal, just gets in there. And now here comes Rizzo, and he smokes one. And that ball is roped into the gap. It's going to hit the wall, and that's going to tie the game.
I'll tell you, that two-strike approach that Anthony really has developed this year with the short, compact swing, getting the front foot down, has allowed him to get to 98 and bang it off the wall right there. So strong.
And then Ben Zobrist delivers with a single to right. Rizzo comes around to score. It's a 2-1 ball game. Cubs have the lead, and you could start to see, because early they got 2 men on it in the first. They had men on in the second. They hadn't broken through, and then they did.
Well, they got the leadoff runner on. I mean, in all of those innings, 4 of the 5 innings against Garrett Cole. I mean, that's what really stands out. You're giving yourself opportunity, but the thing that stands out most specifically in those moments, and if you want to know why your team's a good team, they come through with 2 outs. They put together their best at-bats right there. Anthony, 3-2 pitch, gets something to handle, drives it in the gap. Zobrist follows it up, cashes him in, reclaims the lead, all with 2 outs. It's about giving yourself opportunities. We talk about percentages, runners in scoring position. We came through 3 of 5 times. Give a team 15 opportunities, they're going to win a lot of games.
All right, let's check out our Sports Authority play of the game. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Cubs are the bases loaded. David Ross is going to go the other way. That is a really nice piece of hitting with 2 outs and 2 strikes on him, a 2-2 count, and he dumps one into right, and that's going to score 2, and that was your ball game.
Hey, let me tell you something. 2-strike approach right there. You see how deep that ball got? He even surprised himself a little bit, but what's he doing? He's not getting beat by secondary pitches. That's why you saw the 95-mile-an-hour fastball with 2 strikes get deep on him. He wasn't deliberately going to right, but he was not going to strike out in that situation right there, and he wanted to put the ball in play, so it's a great approach. You allow that ball to get just a little bit deeper, almost that fight-it-off type of mentality, and a lot of the Cubs hitters do this in this lineup. You saw Rossi do it come through with the single down the right field line.
All right, now after Ross made it 5-1, there are men on the corners. David Ross is going to take off for second, trying to get into a rundown to allow Matt Caesar to break for home. Now Caesar's going to break for home, and there's the airmail throw over Francisco Cervelli. He scores easily. They originally called that a stolen base, a steal of home. The scoring was later changed to a caught stealing. Caesar would lead the game after this play with a tight right hamstring.
Well, perfectly executed on David Ross's part. Caesar obviously comes in to throw. You force the issue. You watch the panic. Harrison wants to get him back, but David doesn't run all the way to second base. He gives himself enough space to backtrack towards first. He's doing this on purpose. He wants to force a throw home, but buy Caesar some time to get a few extra steps, and he does. You see, he's not perfectly right there, but it forces the panic throw from Harrison right there. The throw sails. Caesar comes in and scores easily.
All right, now, apparently the Cubs saw something in the scouting report. They did the same thing yesterday against the Pirates, the Cincinnati Reds. There's the throw down. Now, here's how the Pirates play it. There comes the play to the plate. And that run scores because they can't hang on to the baseball.
Well, they've had their defensive issues in the middle infield this year. There's no doubt about it. The Pirates have. They've been very, very good offensively. They've got good pitching, but they've had some issues in the middle. And you pick up on things like this. You're right. I mean, Cap, it's as simple as advanced scouting. I mean, if Joe saw it, he's like, you know what, we're going to try it. We've got the lead. Let's see what we can do. See if we can't force their hand a little bit and put some pressure on them. That's part of the PNC conversation. PNC is not an easy place to play. The Pirates have staked their claim in their home ballpark. They play their way. You don't go in there and beat them very handily. Not too many teams do it. The Cubs have been doing it a little bit here of late, which is great to see, but you almost end up going in there and having to beat them at their game, which they're very good at. That is part of their game right there, putting pressure on the base pass. So good to see the Cubs go out there, steal some bases today, and put some pressure on the Pirate defenders to make plays.
Well, you could tell the Cubs, we're sitting in the newsroom, and every time I'm looking up with a man on it, there's another steal. There's another. Fowler in the first, Russell in the second, Fowler in the third. We saw the Caesar aggressive play with David Ross. I mean, they had that in their scouting report.
Well, and again, the Pirates, their staff is about making pitches. And you see this sometimes with the elites, including a Garrett Cole, you with Jake Arrieta, we talk about John Lester. To them, it's more important to make their pitches, but if you can get guys on base and put pressure on in those situations, you can force their hand. Garrett Cole was very aware of what was going on over first base after the first and the second stolen base. You just keep piling on. He's not getting quicker to the plate. He's not changing anything, but next thing you know, he's throwing 105 pitches. He's not through 5. We've stolen 4 bases, and we got the lead.
All right, now in the 6th inning, Starling Marte gets hit by a Jason Hamill pitch. Now, it looked harmless enough. Didn't look like he was trying to go get him. He just was pitching inside. He hits him. That leads us to the top of the 7th. Kyle Lobstein's first pitch drills Venzobrist right in the butt. Both benches are warned. Joe has a couple of words. Intentional or not?
Oh, that was most definitely intentional. I didn't think anything that I saw before that was intentional, but that definitely was intentional. You don't miss your target that much. Bottom line, I mean, here's what I'll add to this. I mean, again, I don't know all the circumstances. Sometimes things are set on a baseball field, Cappy, but things can happen on a field. The Pirates have found themselves in this situation a few times over the years, not just with the Cubs, with the Cardinals, with the Reds. I'm just saying. That's really all you have to take from it. This probably is not something that will build. I don't see it spilling into tomorrow. But it's the way that the Pirates play sometimes. I mean, they like to pitch inside, and when you pitch inside, there might be some retaliation. So keep your eye on this moving forward. But again, just so everybody knows, I don't see this as a Pirate thing. Well, I should say I do see this as a Pirate thing. It's kind of their way, their brand. This could happen again.
Do you believe that that was because Marte got hit, or a culmination of what happened last year in the wild card game, and then Marte gets hit, and they're like, okay, that's it. We're done.
I don't know if I would stretch it all the way back to last year. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
Well, it couldn't be just from the Marte thing.
You wouldn't think so. But again, like I said, sometimes things are said on a baseball field that you don't know about. I mean, again, the art of hiding your intent is really the game within the game, especially when we get into the beanball wars. What did that mean? What was that all about? And sometimes it's very hard to find out. Only the Pirates know. Maybe only the Cubs know their side of it. And a lot of times you'll be on one side of it and you'll never, ever find out what the actual
Why did that
reason.
happen?
All I'm saying is there's clearly intent. Lobstein hit him on purpose. I don't know what that intent was. Hard for me to believe that the two people involved weren't even around for it. Lobstein wasn't on this roster last year.
And Ben Zobrist was
winning a World Series with the Royals. So I don't see it that way. sometimes messages are sent subtly, sometimes they're sent very clearly. That was some sort of message that was trying to be relayed. Joe did not take too kindly to it, and I can understand why.
No, I'd love to hear him. Time for our Elk Grove pitching recap. Jason Hamill, solid again. He comes in leading the National League in ERA, and he goes 5 innings, 2 earned, 5 hits, 3 Ks, and a walk. 1 home run, that was the McCutcheon homer, and he goes 89 pitches. And for Garrett Cole, not one of his best nights. 6 earned, 6 hits, 6 Ks, 4 walks, and 105 pitches in less than 5
Felt
innings.
a bit of a redo going back to last year, right? The wild card game. I know we didn't hit any home runs in the ball game, but again, the approach was very similar. You know, forcing his hand, deep counts, 3-2 pitches. Hamill was better tonight. Bottom line, he made pitches when he needed to, didn't get himself in nearly the same trouble. The one thing that really does stand out, Garrett Cole struggled to get the leadoff hitter out. Jason Hamill did it very effectively. Didn't make trouble for himself really until that 6th inning. So 2 innings over 5, or I'm sorry, 2 earned runs over 5. Solid performance tonight, 89 pitches. He'll be good to go next start. Nothing to see there. At the same time, Cap, I was just telling the guys in the newsroom, you know, the Cubs bullpen has been underworked by definition this year. So when you've got a lead like this, maybe you make a little trouble with yourself in hitting the first guy in the 6th. You know, you go to the bullpen and get some guys some work as well.
All right, let's take a look at the ERA leaders in the National League. There's Jake Arrieta at the top at 1. Gio Gonzalez, who's very, very good for Washington. We'll see him this weekend. 115, and then Jason Hamill. And then you see John Lester. So 3 of your starters killing it.
Yeah, well, they're absolutely dialed in. It's great to see. We've told the story of John Lester this year, his year number 2 for him. Hamill, his story being one of somewhat of redemption, coming back from last year and the way things ended, you know, making adjustments over the winter, coming in ready to get things done, and looking like somebody who should be getting a full season worth of starts in this rotation. You've got Arrieta, who is just, I don't know, is he taking it to another level? Is there another level with Arrieta right now? It's something what he's doing. But again, you know, the one thing that I really want to say, you know, with Chris Bosio and the job that he has done with these guys, they have definitely taken it to another level, but I'm excited to see how well this team really just feeds off each other. I feel that the offense does such a great job of you know, we talk about these long innings. We were talking about the length of this game, and like we felt like we had it, but they just refused to give up at bats, and meaning, you know, in between the pitchers on the bench resting. It's not 10-pitch innings back out there, 10-pitch innings back out there. That is great for our starting staff. I don't believe that there's only been a handful of moments where our pitching has even been tested because of the urgency of the game. Our at-bats have been so good. So this team is really working well together, and that's the most important thing.
All right, time for a break here on Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. We come back. We'll name our player of the game. We have a few guys to choose from. We'll be right back.
Cubs Postgame Live is presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all.
I forgot to record that show.
Now we have to wait forever to see it.
With DirecTV, you don't.
You see, we got the power to turn back time. That show you missed, let's just go back and find. And let's go back and choose spicy instead of mild. And maybe reconsider having that second child. See, that's the power to turn back time.
Watch shows you forgot to record. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Why jump out of a perfectly good airplane? Why not? Chicagoland Skydiving Center was voted the best in the U.S. with a perfect safety record, a one-of-a-kind environment, and round-trip shuttle service from downtown Chicago. Come experience the greatest adventure in the area. Chicagoland Skydiving Center in Rochelle. Visit us at perfectlygoodairplane.com.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you.
Call Adolescent Growth today and see how our proven treatment programs for eating disorders can begin to bring the sunshine back in the life of your teen and your family.
Please don't take my sunshine away.
Time for our Four Seasons heating, air conditioning, and plumbing. Who's hot and who's not? And who's hot? How about Andrew McCutcheon? Kutch, 2 for 4, only Pirate with 2 hits. Who's not? Gregory Polanco. And this is against Jake in the wild card game. 0 for 4 with 2 punch-outs.
Yeah, well.
Arietta went on to throw the first postseason shutout by a Cub since 1945.
Well, I was looking at that. I was just, McCutcheon's one of our elites. The rest of that lineup didn't do much against him in that ball game. If I remember correctly, no walks, 11 strikeouts. Doesn't that sound about right?
He was rolling.
Right. So
he was dealing.
Kind of how it went.
And welcome back to Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Our Chris Kamka, we call him the Cruncher. He's the best research guy in the industry. He had a great stat. 9 teams in baseball have fewer than 12 wins so far this season. The Cubs have 12 wins by 5 runs or more. That's an obscene stat.
I mean, again, I love it when Cruncher kind of backs me up. What he's kind of reiterating is what I've basically been talking about when we talk about the offense and the pitching working so well together. That's what makes a great team. That's what makes a great baseball team, people. And you're watching one team that is getting it done. Jason Hamill gives up the early home run in this ball game today. That's all you're going to get. Guys settle in, they get the lead back, he makes the lead stand up, and then they start just giving you those long, drawn-out innings. Walk, sacrifice, fly, couple errors, put a little pressure on them on the bases, steal a few bases, and just continue to put your pitching in a great position to recover. By the way, I mean, that's the one thing I love talking about is the recovery time. I love it. There's nothing a team that you're trying to get that guy in and off your guy out there to make his 10, 15 pitches and get him out of there, sit him down for 10 minutes. Give him a break, let him rest, go back out there and get more length. We do that like every inning of just about every game. We do not have fast innings. We had a runner on base in every inning in tonight's ball game. All right, our UPS store taking care of business. Player of the game. And we decided to go with that man right there, Anthony Rizzo. On a 2-strike pitch there, a 3-2 pitch, shortens up his swing, chokes up, and then drives it one hop off the wall. Yeah, it's fun to watch. Anthony, that was 98 miles an hour, by the way. These young hitters, man, they deal with velocity like it's nothing anymore. Short, quick approach, 96 miles an hour right there, another laser beam off the right field wall. Good to see. I love it, and it's the adjustments that you see, and you understand it. You watch Anthony, you watch other hitters, they make the adjustments during the course of the season. You see them do it. Anthony's developed this here in the first few weeks of the season. Cappy, you were talking about that little short, choppy swing. Short and quick to the baseball. Let the pitcher who's throwing 98 do the work. Yeah, I get to interview him tomorrow, and I want to ask him about the approach. Right. When you've got 2 strikes and the approach, how here's this big, massive, strong guy, and he chokes up and he just punches at the ball and he drives it off the wall. Well, I mean, I have such an appreciation for it because I go back to my generation and not a lot of guys did that. It wasn't going to, you're not going to surrender your swing length or your velocity in your swing or tone it down. Don't worry about the strikeouts. We'll just talk about all this power. But it's interesting. You're watching this generation start to adjust to that conversation, and it's a lot of fun for me to see. Anthony, how would you define him? He is a power-hitting first baseman in our game. 30 homers a season, right? It's kind of what we expect. How about that swing right there? Is that a guy who was swinging for the fences on a 3-2 pitch right there? No. That's a guy who's looking to understanding the situation, put the ball in play, put it in the gap, and score a run and see if we can't build on something right there. It's called making adjustments. It's what you want to see young hitters do, and what a great example for the rest of this young Cubs team that if our guy, our leader in the middle of our lineup does that with 2 strikes, shouldn't we be doing the same thing? Agreed. Time for our Honda winning box score, and this one belongs to the Cubs. Dexter Fowler, couple knocks, also had a walk, scored a run. Tommy LaStella had a tough night at the plate. Chris Bryant had a double. Rizzo, we just showed you 2 for 5. Then you got hits for Zobrist, Russell, Caesar, and Ross.
Hamill gets the win, goes 5 innings, 2 earned, 5 hits, 3 Ks, a walk, and 89 pitches.
Yeah, Nelly was in my ear, Cappy. He wanted me to pick a guy. And,
that'd be our producer.
Yeah, Jeff Nelson, our great producer. I'm going to go ahead and pick Jason Hamill because he disappointed me tonight with his 0 for 3. I mean, everybody else did. I mean, this was so much fun to watch. I mean, the walks, everybody contributed. There isn't a dominant performance. Anthony had the 2 doubles. They were huge in the ball game, but you watch with Dexter. Again, this is a story we've told so many times, doing a fantastic job getting on base, setting the table for the rest of this lineup. Brian extends his hitting streak. Baez comes off the bench. Oh, by the way, couple base hits, getting things going. So good to see everybody doing it. Jason Hamill, the pitchers, they hit. You didn't tonight, so.
Right. We'll be right back on Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Got to tell you about the pitches these guys saw tonight. We'll be right back.
This program on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by ATI Physical Therapy, taking physical therapy to a higher level. Ask your doctor about ATI Physical Therapy.
This car wasn't made in Detroit, or Tokyo, or Mexico City. This, the Mini Clubman, was crafted in Oxford, England. A place where mass production isn't all that massive. And each car is engineered, customized, tuned, and crafted one at a time. Introducing the new Mini Clubman, made in Oxford.
For the we in team. That's why we're here. This week, get great deals on the best brands like Nike, Under Armour, Easton, and more. Only at Sports Authority.
We built this thingy. We built this thingy on tech that's old. We built this thingy. But we built.
Yeah, Xfinity built this newer thingy that lets me search with my voice.
We're good. Don't fall for DirecTV. Find shows faster with the X1 voice remote, only from Xfinity. Sign up today or get started with this great offer. Call or go online today.
Menards has what you need to keep your home safe while you're away. This electronic deadbolt from Kwikset offers convenience and protection just $59.99. This Kidda remote link monitor sends alerts to your phone or tablet when your existing smoke or carbon monoxide alarm is sounded. Only $79.99. And this completely wireless remote link camera sends alerts when motion is detected, can be installed anywhere, and has a rechargeable battery. It's only $149. Find peace of mind at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Meet Sharon. She's not just someone who can make a Cancun vacation tax deductible. She's a marketer. And all it took was Constant Contact. Sharon's emails and her fast fingers keep clients flocking back. Try it free at ConstantContact.com.
Your insurance company won't replace the full value of your totaled new car. The guy says, you picked the wrong insurance plan. No, I picked the wrong insurance company.
With new car replacement, we'll replace the full value of your car, plus depreciation. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Cubs fans, show your team pride with Cubs checking, an official Cubs MasterCard debit card. I've got mine, only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Cubs and learn more. Member FDIC. All right, time for our Blue Cross Blue Shield key to the game from Todd Holland.
All right, creatively opportunistic. What happened when they left for Pittsburgh? And it just put something in my head. It's just maybe that was a little wordy. These suits, I don't know. I just felt inspired. Really, what I was trying to get at was the approach against Garrett Cole in Pittsburgh at PNC Park, and we got to see an awful lot of it. But this was being creative, I guess is my way of saying it. The opportunistic part really is about the opportunities that the Cubs created for themselves early in the ballgame. Wanted to see a very similar approach as to what we saw last year in the wild card game against Garrett Cole. Resilient, just tedious. I mean, putting guys on base, taking the extra base, putting guys in motion. We did it last year. Why would that change? And again, you saw it early in the ball game. Once we got the lead back, we kept it going. 105 pitches for Garrett Cole, as I said, in 4 2/3 innings. That's just frustrating an ace right there and really putting a lot of pressure on their bullpen.
I also counted up the pitches that both sides saw, and you and I had this discussion while we were at our last break. The Cubs pitchers threw, I believe, 137 pitches.
Yep.
The Pirate pitchers threw 173 pitches.
Yep.
because the Cubs are very good at running up pitch counts. Explain then what that means to fans, what the Cubs are doing.
I think the simple way to explain it, and there's a lot of different ways of looking at it, the obvious is that the Cubs see more pitches. Well, I look at it like this. You know, in a typical inning, a pitcher ideally is trying to throw 15 pitches in an inning. That's usually kind of how it works itself out over the course of a start. Add it up, you get 6 innings, he goes around 100 pitches. And when you take the 40 difference that you have there, and we've seen some, by the way, staggering numbers on this early in the season. We saw 198
the other night, 189 or 198 to like 118.
So the point in this really is, you know, and I put it into basketball terminology, it's like taking more shots. It's just getting more opportunities. That's how I kind of explained it to you. I look at it like this. It's the Cubs get to go up to hit 11 times, and the Pirates 9. So do you feel like we got a better opportunity to score more runs, getting to go up for 2 extra innings in 6 more outs than the Pirates do having to play, you know, just a 9-inning ball game? That's how we've played this year. It is relentless. It puts so much pressure on the mound. You get in their bullpen. I mean, their bullpen's already taxed, kind of, because, you know, Lobstein had to use up 3 innings today. You know, what it leads into tomorrow is that you get looks at guys, and that's the perfect game that you play at the front end of a series. So, again, this approach offensively works. It has been proven to work. We've seen it work in our sport. And if they continue to keep this up, they are going to get great results.
All right, we have to take a final timeout on Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. We'll get at tomorrow night's ball game when we come back.
Something doesn't feel right.
Green lights across the board. What's going on up there?
No backup system, Houston. I'm flying solo here.
Does he have it?
I'm on it. Re-entry in 3, 2, 1.
Thanks for the care package, Houston. Dinner's on me. Just another day in the rocket biz. Oh, fudge nuggets.
We are the Coors Brewing Company, and our mountain is brewing the world's most refreshing beer. A beer proud enough to wear our name in big, red, scripted letters. That's why we lager, filter, and package cold. Because we believe every climb deserves a refreshing finish. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
Hate shopping for a used car because you feel like you might be buying someone else's problem? Well, with a Continental certified car, you don't have to worry. Just look for this. Buy with confidence, knowing that the car has been through an 80-point quality and safety inspection. Comes with a 30-day, 1,000-mile warranty. And get this, a 3-day exchange policy. So check out our huge selection of Continental certified cars only at Continental Motors. 10 brands, 8 locations, thousands of choices. Only at Continental Motors and ContinentalMotors.com.
Now playing on DirecTV Cinema.
What happened?
I'm going to kill a man and kill my son.
The Revenant is nominated for 12 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor Leonardo DiCaprio, Best Supporting Actor Tom Hardy.
God give it, God take it away.
The Revenant. Movies start at Channel 125.
Dave owed back taxes. After being hit with a wage garnishment and a bank levy, Dave struggled with his finances. He thought all was lost. Then he found out about U.S. Tax Shield.
If you have been threatened with a wage garnishment, bank levy, or tax lien,
call 1-800-758-3117.
Sandra and Victor owed an enormous amount of money to the IRS. U.S. Tax Shield was able to reduce their tax debt so that they were able to maintain their lifestyle.
Owe $15,000 or more to the IRS or state? Call U.S. Tax Shield.
Call 1-800-758-3117.
Cubs and Bucks back at it tomorrow night. Game 2 of this 3-game series. Let's check out the pitching matchup for the game. Jake Arrieta goes for the Cubbies. He'll be opposed by Jonathan Neese, the former Met, who is 3-0 this season. But the ERA a bit bloated, Holly, over 5. As for Arrieta, named the National League Pitcher of the Month for his 5-0 April. He becomes the first NL player to win the award 3 straight times. And we all know what happened the last time he took the mound at PNC Park.
Oh, yeah, well, we don't, I think the great thing about tomorrow is we get to remember, like, maybe Maybe we'll remember it right now in the postgame show. I love it. Listen, this Pirates team, they're pretty good, guys. They're going to try to do what you kind of saw in Jake's last start, the 5-inning affair, where they put a few guys on, put a few guys in motion, tested them out a little bit. I think you're going to see a little bit of that from the Pirates. They're going to do that. You go back to the results. I'm not going to sit here and tell you can steal first base because you can't. But the bottom line is this Pirate team is a decent hitting ball club. They got a few 300 hitters in that lineup, and they're going to try to test Jake in a variety of ways to see if they can't get some offense going against him.
And the Cubs' approach to Nice will be just the same as it's been. Try and grind him early and get into the bullpen.
Right.
But he's also not a guy that you think is going to blow you away high up in the zone.
No, Nice will not. You're going to see 88, 89 miles an hour. He does have a good two-seamer, likes to keep the ball down in the zone. He's going to try to dial up a bunch of ground ball outs. That's ultimately what he wants to see, and that's what he's going to hope that his defense is behind him. But, again, I see that as an opportunity for us, putting guys in motion. That's kind of it. I mean, again, we haven't been about the long ball all season long. We've actually been about the approach.
Yeah, the approach has been unbelievable. As we talked earlier, the number of pitches that you see on a nightly basis is incredible.
It is. It really is. It's what it really is to me. It's the story with the offense so far.
All right, Cubs and Buccos again, and then they'll wrap it up here on CSN on Wednesday, an 11 a.m. pregame show and an 11:35 first pitch. All right, thank you for watching Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Sportsnet Central is coming up next with Pat and Mark. You have a wonderful rest of your evening. We'll see you for Cubs baseball on Wednesday. Do we start with a fist bump? No, that's their deal. Cubs kick off the first of 19 games against the Pirates in style. How you doing, everybody? Mark Shadowski, and I am Pat Boyle. Welcome to Sportsnet Central, presented by GMC.
In addition to baseball, we'll also talk about the NFL draft and lost in all the drama over the weekend. The Bears signed a quality veteran to back up Jay Cutler. We'll take a closer look at how Brian Hoyer compares to other number 2 quarterbacks in Chicago through the years. It's another winning edition of Sportsnet Central.
Too many white guys. Fist bump.
You're connected to Sportsnet Central, presented by GMC.
Cubs lead 4-0, bottom of the ninth. The 2-2. Swinging a line drive, caught by Castro. Cubs win. Jake Arrieta pitches a shutout, and the Cubs start to celebrate on the infield here at PNC Park. Goodbye, Pittsburgh. Hello, St. Louis.
Pat with the call there. Cubs and Pirates meeting for the first time since Madden's crew won that wild card game last October. PNC clubhouse attendants said they can still smell the aftermath of the Cubs celebration after cleaning the carpet 4 times.
That's hard to believe.
Jesse Rogers had that. Champagne problems, Mark. Jason Hamill on the bump. He gets into trouble in the first. Second batter he faces Andrew McCutcheon. Dude can rake. His 6th of the season. It's 1-0 Pirates. Go to the third. Garrett Cole getting the nod. He took the loss and allowed 4 runs in last year's wild card tilt. Runner on second, Anthony Rizzo at the plate. He goes shopping at the gap. Can I help you? Off the Xfinity sign. There's product placement there. Dexter Fowler scores, ties the game. Ben Zobrist up next, sends one into right. Rizzo, come on down. Cubs take the 2-1 lead. We go to the 5th. It's 3-1 Cubs after a Zobrist sac fly. Cole walks Matt Caesar to load him up. Caesar started in right for Jason Hayward, who's dealing with a wrist issue. That was all for Cole. 105 pitches in 4 2/3. A.J. Shugel brought in to face David Ross, and Rossi sends one down the line. That scores 2 more, and the Cubs take a 5-1 lead. We flash back to yesterday's game, facing the Reds. Tied at 3 in the 8th. The runner at the corner, the Reds attempt a double steal. Jody Mercer throws home. Chris Stewart drops the ball. Joey Votto ends up scoring, and the Pirates would lose in extras. Back to tonight. Same situation for the Cubs.
Ross takes off. He's trying to get in a rundown to allow Caesar to score. Caesar takes off to the plate. The throw there. Gets over the head of the catcher, Cervelli, and a run is in, and Ross gets second.
Great call by Joe Madden there. Pitcher up, 6-1 Cubs after 5. We go to the 7th. It's now a 6-2 Northsiders advantage. Kyle Lobstein hits Ben Zobrist in the hip, fastball. We flash back again to last season's wild card game. Tony Watson plunking Jake Arrieta. Benches were clear, tempers flared. Sean Rodriguez went off on the water cooler in the dugout.
He lost that fight.
He did. Player never wins.
No.
Back to tonight. Madden not happy. Zobrist gets hit, either from last year or from Hamill, plunking Marte in the 6th inning tonight. Cubs would take the advantage later in the inning. Runners in second and third. Lobstein throws a wild pitch. Zobrist comes in to score. The Cubs would take it 7-2, and they improve to 18-6 on the campaign. They now lead the Pirates by 4. Of those 18 wins, 12 have been by 5 or more runs. Caesar left the game with a tight hamstring. With more on the Cubs win over their central rival, we send it to the fist-bumping duo, David Kaplan and Todd Hollinsworth. Boys.
All right, boys.
Thank you, boys. Cubs get really solid pitching again out of Jason Hamill. And then the timely hitting. They got guys on base early. They didn't score, and then in the third, they broke through.
Oh, I'm running out of adjectives to describe the offensive approach. I mean, honestly, resilient, aggravating to the opposing pitchers. I mean, what they've done this year has just been so much fun to watch. Grinding out at bats, 2-strike approach. Anthony Rizzo, short, quick swing on the double. David Ross letting the ball get deep right there. Just a fantastic job. Let's not forget, Garrett Cole is one of the best in the game. He had a rough night. And again, 105 pitches, 4 2/3 innings. That's not going to get it done, certainly not what the Pirates were expecting. But again, it goes back to the Cubs' offensive approach. I thought it was absolutely outstanding. Jason Hamill, outstanding in this game as well. 5 solid innings. Bullpen needed a little bit of work tonight. They got that lead going.
They don't have any innings.
Hey, man, you know what? That's what I keep telling you. There's a reason for all of this, right? We got to get them some work down there. So anyway, the bullpen gets involved. The bullpen shuts it down. Pirates get nothing going. They have been one of the best offenses in the National League this year.
All right, let's talk a little bit about this bullpen. You've got Adam Warren, who came over in the Starlin Castro trade. Yesterday, the bullpen was not sharp. Hector Rondon did not get the job done. Cubs lost in extras. But tonight, you got Strope a little bit of work. You got Warren a little bit of work. You got Travis Wood a little bit of work. And so maybe that was part of the rationale.
Absolutely, Cap. I think you're hitting it right on the head right there. I mean, that's the deal. When you go through something or a bad game or a bad performance, things don't go your way, you want to get the boys right back out there in that situation to beat the situation. It's as simple as that, and I absolutely believe that was part of it.
Let's talk about Dexter Fowler. This guy is playing as well offensively as anybody in the National League. 2 more hits tonight. He had a walk as well. That's how he starts the ball game. Base hit right away. He says good morning, good afternoon, good night to Garrett Cole, who's looking to try and come up high at 96, and he rips it.
Well, let me say this about Dexter. I think everybody needs to get off of we're surprised at what Dexter's doing at the beginning of the year. This really goes back to last year. He's been absolutely the best, one of the best leadoff hitters in the game of baseball. Switch hitter, good defender in center field. Power, doubles, quality at bats. That's it. He understands his job so well right now. I talk about him taking the walks, just setting the tone for the day. You go, we go, as Joe Madden likes to say. He has been absolutely, I said, look, that goes back to last year at the All-Star break. Look at those numbers, Cap. I mean, just tearing the cover off the baseball. 911 OPS from your leadoff hitter. That is Ricky Henderson-like.
All right, let's talk about hit by pitches. Last year in the wild card game, Jake Arrieta gets plunked in the ribs. Today, Starling Marte, this is not intentional. You could tell Hamill's just trying to pitch inside. Caught him. Yeah, not a big deal. Boom, Ben Zobrist wasn't even on the team last year, nor was Lobstein on the Pirates. And that sets Joe Madden off.
Well, I think that's actually what set Joe Madden off right there, is that they warned both benches, meaning that if anything after this happens, you're going to lead to ejections. And he didn't feel like it should have gone there right away. Personally, listen, the Pirates have been in some of these beanball wars, call them what you will. Nothing really came out of it tonight. It's going to be that kind of 19 games against the Pirates this year, people. I'm just telling you, you better buckle up. Clint is not going to back down with his guys, his Pirates team. They understand that the Cubs are the ones in the division that are getting all the attention. But he's saying, listen, do not forget about us. You may have come in here and walloped us in game 1. What he is saying is we're not going to back down. We're going to fight to the very end. They've been in this situation not just with the Cubs, with the Reds, with the Cardinals, and some other teams around baseball. So it is a little bit more of the Pirate way than it is should we zone in on this game and think that there's something that bled through the offseason from last year to this year. I'm not sure that's the case, but we'll see.
All right. I will see you Wednesday.
Sounds good.
All right. Let's send it back over to Pat and Mark on the other side of the studio. Fellas, thank you. Here's a look at the pitching matchup for the rest of the series. Jake Arrieta takes the bump tomorrow. Arrieta going for his 6th victory on the campaign Wednesday. John Lester looks to add to his career-best 5 straight quality starts to begin a campaign.
Yeah, I like the Cubs' chances of those games with those guys pitching. Speaking of Arrieta, he's a unanimous choice as the National League's Pitcher of the Month for April. All Jake did was win each of his 5 outings, including a no-hitter in Cincinnati, a cumulative earned run average of 1. Arrieta has now won the league's top pitcher honor for 3 straight months, dating back to last season. That's the first time a National League hurler has ever done that. Let's check out some other action on this Monday evening. Reds hosting the Giants. Johnny Cueto facing his old squad, and it did not go very well. Cueto's got a 3-1 lead in the 3rd, but Joey Votto has liftoff deep to center field. That is gone. 3-run bomb. The Reds score 6 in the 3rd off their old buddy Cueto. Cueto's offense would have his back. It's now 6-5 Cincinnati. Top of the 7th, Brandon Crawford playing some long ball as well. A 3-run shot to match Votto's at the Great American Ballpark. This one puts San Fran up by 2. They come all the way back and beat the Reds. 9-6 is your final.
Coming up, despite a 6-0 start to the season, Chris Sale gets snubbed for AL Pitcher of the Month honors. But we'll go inside the numbers of the first place White Sox. Antrell Roll takes a few parting shots at the Bears on his exit from Chicago. Plus, we'll take a closer look at the Bears' new backup quarterback, Brian Hoyer, who explains why he's such a great fit for the beloved.
Sportsnet Central on Comcast Sportsnet is presented to you by GMC. We are professional grade.
This is how Precision listens. Bose microphones that hear engine noise, then counter it with the sound-canceling frequency, which helps make the cabin so quiet, you don't miss a thing.
Night, Dad.
Good night, kiddo.
It's called Active Noise Cancellation, and it's available in the new, meticulously crafted 2016 Sierra from GMC. This is the precision of professional grade. Now get 15% below MSRP on select GMC Sierra 1500 models in stock. That's nearly $9,000 on this GMC Sierra Denali.
This rusty mess isn't going anywhere. Don't trust it to just any cleaner. Trust CLR. CLR makes quick work of the toughest jobs, dissolving crusty white buildup so your shower runs like new. CLR cuts through hard water buildup and helps keep your washer running clean. CLR also earned the EPA's Safer Choice seal, so it's safer for your family. Trust the power of the CLR family and trust your clean to CLR. CLR is available at these fine retailers.
This is our magnificent mile and a half. These are our monsters of the Speedway. And this is our kind of town. This is Chicagoland Speedway, the Windy City's home for racing and summer's last big party. The chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup starts here. Get your tickets now at ChicagolandSpeedway.com.
I am never getting married. Never. Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring. Thank you. We're never having kids.
A little bit here.
We are never moving to the suburbs. We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, State Farm is there.
With robotic technology, we can now regrow your natural hair. And I should know, because I had the same procedure done to myself.
The technology is here. The time is now. Fantastic results, flexible payments. Call today.
Now it's in the hands of the bullpen, and out comes Papa John.
It looks like he's taking this official pizza thing pretty seriously.
For just $6.99 each, get 2 medium, 2 topping pizzas.
Papa John's, the official pizza of Major League Baseball.
A ball high and deep in the right center field, but we got a man there, makes the catch, and this ball game is over.
Welcome back. Chris Sale picked up his 6th victory yesterday in Baltimore, but he was not named the American League's Pitcher of the Month. That honor goes to Detroit's Jordan Zimmerman, who, like Sale, went 5-0 in April, but had a better earned run average. Still, one of the few disappointments so far this season for Sale and the White Sox. They own the American League's best record at 18-8. And here's a look at some other impressive numbers. 6. That's the number of wins in the same number of starts Chris Sale has this season. The lefty is the first Sox pitcher to begin the season 6-0 since John Garland back in 2005, the year the White Sox won the World Series. Sale has allowed just 8 earned runs over 43 1/3 innings.
You can put it on the board. Yes.
11-27. That's the number of home runs and RBIs the Sox have received from their second and third basemen. Now, last season through 26 games, those positions produced just 2 round trippers and 14 runs batted in.
The ball high and deep in the right center field. Makes the catch, and this ball game is over.
12. That's how many road victories the White Sox already have this season in 17 games played. And to put that schedule and balance in perspective, entering Monday, there were 9 teams in the major leagues who had yet to play 9 road games this season.
With that pitch, strike 3, and the Sox have back-to-back sweeps.
12 is also the number of games Sox pitchers have allowed 1 or 0 runs. That's the most times the team has done that through the first 26 games of the season since 1963. And the only time it's been done in the majors since 1981. Numbers are trending well. The White Sox back in action tomorrow night. It's the opener of a 3-game series against Boston. Jose Quintana facing Stephen Wright. We'll set the table here on Sportsnet Central at 6:30. Then Jason Benetti and Steve Stone have the play-by-play call at 7, followed as usual by a White Sox postgame live with Chuck and Bill.
Let's face it, the Antrell Roll show didn't work out in Chicago, on the field or in this very studio. The veteran safety came to Chicago known for his durability, but he only played 7 games for the Bears, and he lasted about that many shows here at Comcast Sportsnet. Injuries kept Roll from doing either job, and today on The Score, Roll suggested that the Hallis Hall practice field was the main reason he sprained his MCL.
I was just pretty much shuffling. I wasn't even running. I was just shuffling. And, I just tried to change direction, and I slipped on the surfaces. And, because of my ankle and because of all the tape, the only thing that was able to give was my knee. So my knee had to take on all that force and the impact. And, even the doctor said it's very unusual to find a tear that I had with a non-contact injury. And I think, the surface had a whole lot to do with it. And, it happens, man. The facilities are good, in Chicago. The fields are just not as good. I always knew that Soldier Field was bad. I just never knew that, the facilities were, just as bad.
He doesn't like the fields here in Chicago. He also didn't like our chairs on the set. He lost his cell phone in there. Seriously, it was like an hour and a half.
So we'll have highlights from the Antrell Roll show on our next half hour.
Yeah, it won't be many. Bears didn't draft a quarterback, as you may have heard. They did sign Brian Hoyer to a 1-year deal. The backup, Jay Cutler, former Sparty, went to dinner with Jay on Saturday. He was coached by Dow Loggins when the two were in Cleveland. Here's what Hoyer told the team website about joining the Bears.
It was a great opportunity. Obviously, I had been with Dow Loggins in Cleveland, and so to get an opportunity to join back up with him. And oddly enough, the quarterback coach Dave Ragone's from the same high school I am, so had a lot of connections there. I've gotten to know Jay over the years, just playing against him and stuff. So I thought it was a good opportunity to play behind him and be part of a great organization. He's been great. He was one of the guys that welcomed me here and had dinner with him on Saturday night. So it's good to have a good quarterback with him.
All right, so Brian Hoyer will back up Jay for at least the next season. Take a look at the other Bears understudy since 2009. Josh McCown, the only one with any real success, went 4-3, 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Got him a nice contract in Tampa.
Still cashing in off that.
He is. Jimmy Clausen, 0-2 in parts of 2 seasons with the Bears. Those were not pretty games. For more on Hoyer, let's send it over to Kip Lewis and John Moon Mullen.
All right, thank you. The Bears wrapped up the NFL draft this past weekend, and a lot of us thought maybe they would draft a young quarterback out of college. Instead, as soon as the draft gets going, they announced that they've signed veteran Brian Hoyer as Jay Cutler's backup. They also open up against Hoyer's old team, the Houston Texans. And let's just talk about your thoughts on signing Hoyer, a veteran quarterback.
You know, Kip, I think it actually makes them, I won't say more interesting or exciting, but more interesting because a veteran quarterback says something to me. They didn't just want to throw a kid into the pipeline and hope that they get better or hope they develop him. This is a team that thinks they're going to win now. I mean, you can let scoff at that. But now, of course, on the week of the Houston game, we're all going to be asking Hoyer, you know, what's the secret to blocking J.J. Watt or something like that. But no, I think this is a commitment to this season, not just looking ahead.
And the thing is, here's Brian Hoyer's numbers through just 11 games last season. Pretty comparable. His completion percentage less than Jay Cutler, but Houston had a tough time throwing the football last year. So he had 19 touchdowns, 7 interceptions to Jay's 21 and 11. And I agree with what you're saying. They saw what happened, I think, with the Dallas Cowboys last year, and they saw that the Cowboys went in the tank. And I think the Bears wanted to make sure they have a guy. And let's remember, Brian Hoyer was a guy that was with Dow Loggins, who is now the offensive coordinator. So now Dow knows a lot about Brian and what he can do, and what both physically and mentally.
Yeah, and you're right, Kip. I mean, you saw what happened with the Dallas Cowboys. You saw what didn't happen with the Denver Broncos. Peyton Manning goes down. The backup is able to step in again. Now, he was not an experienced guy, but Brock Osweiler kept them in the playoff picture. So whatever it is, you don't want to backslide, and I think that's where this team is thinking.
And this is something, too. Brian can help Jay. You know, when you bring in a rookie quarterback, you can't expect your rookie quarterback. He's trying to learn. He's trying to learn on the run. He can't bring a whole lot to the table. And I like the fact that Brian's been in Dow's system, because Dow's going to bring some different little wrinkles of his own system and things he likes to do, and Brian can help Jay along that path as well.
Yeah, now, of course, the naysayers will point out that this is a guy who did lose his job to Ryan Mallett and to Johnny Manziel, I think, in Cleveland. So, no, I think this is a guy who's happy to still be in the NFL, but I think still trying to prove himself. He's on a one-year deal. Almost like a Josh McCown kind of thing. He's going to be, if he gets his chance, I think he's going to be a supportive player, because Jay Cutler is the quarterback. I think that was very clear from John Fox. They liked what he did last year. So a lot of the people who wanted to run Jay out of town, he had, as you said, Kip, a year that you can win with this kind of year.
Yeah, a lot of people talked about the draft picks coming here this weekend, but really I think this was kind of one of those things that went under the radar, and it could pay big dividends. Even if you miss Jay for a week or two, you know that you're going to have a veteran backup, a guy that understands the system, has been a starter in this league before. So that's just the beginning. A lot to talk about here this offseason with the Bears. That does it for us. Let's go back to you.
All right, guys, still ahead on Sportsnet Central. Tom Thibodeau reflecting on his time in Chicago, revealing his biggest regret over his 5 seasons coaching the Bulls. Plus, LeBron James and the Cavaliers, after a long layoff, tip off their second-round series against visiting Atlanta. Highlights from the NBA playoffs are on the way.
I'm Paige. I have 2 kids, and we're a Zulily family. Finding clothes that are different and unique, Zulily helps with that. When they really like something, they actually take the phone from me to flip through the app themselves. I love going on Zulily every day because it's fresh, there's new events, so many different styles and brands, and of course the great prices. It's all right there on Zulily.
Discover unique items for any style at up to 70% off. Shop Zulily.com today.
Do you have past due debt, repossessions, judgments, bad loans, or accidents? Then your credit score could be 400 or less, and good luck getting a decent car or house loan. I'm attorney Peter Francis Geraci. Want to raise your credit score? Then call Geraci Law and get debt-free. After a bankruptcy discharge, your credit score usually goes up.
When you need to be debt-free, call 1-800-CALL-PFG. That's 1-800-CALL-PFG.
Quiet on the sip, pick 73. What? It's a saving big is no laughing matter at the Bob Roman Auto Group. Over 7,000 new and used cars online at BobRorman.com.
There's only one Bob Roman.
Don't like shopping for clothes? That's why there's 5-4 Club.
Membership in 5-4 Club ensures new clothing every month right to your doorstep. For $60 per month, members receive a variety of original items that helps to expand their wardrobe over time. With exclusive designs crafted in-house, we curate and deliver the latest fashion. To date, more than 100,000 men have trusted the design experts at 5-4 to liven up their look. To become a member, go to 54club.com and start building your closet today.
Welcome to Wrigley Field. Marietta's cruising along. Swing and a miss. And it is gone. We're tied. Rizzo gets on the top. He makes the catch. Got him. Called strike 3. Jake Arrieta, a 20-game winner. Deep left, way back. It is gone. A 3-run homer. Cubs win. Cubs win. Cubs win.
We're back with NBA playoff action. Cleveland hosting Atlanta. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals. LeBron flexing for the home fans. The Cavs had a lot of energy after an 8-day layoff. James with the big slam there. Cleveland up by as many as 18 in the third quarter, but the Hawks would come back with a furious rally. Kent Bazemore for 3, capped off a 16-3 run. The Hawks draw within 5. Fourth quarter, Atlanta trailing by just 1. Dennis Schroeder, the alley-oop to Al Horford. Atlanta with its first lead of the night. Schroeder with 27 off the bench. But James carried the Cavs down the stretch, up by 4 with 2 minutes to go. He gets the lay-in and a foul. 25 points, 9 boards, 7 rebounds for James. Cavs take game 1, 104-93. Here's LeBron on an uneven performance by his squad.
The best thing about our team is that we will make adjustments going into game 2, and we learn from, what we could have did much better. We played a okay game. I don't think we played to our standards, obviously giving up that lead in the third quarter, but the first game is always kind of a fill out, and we look forward to the challenges of Wednesday. I mean, it's a game in between the game that people don't see. We have a scouting report, and we followed that scouting report for 48 minutes. But we're all professionals, and guys make shots, and things happen in the course of the game, which is okay. So, Schroeder hit some big shots tonight. He played exceptionally well. But we followed the game plan that our coaching staff gave us, and it gave us the best possible chance to win.
And this entertainment update, LeBron James will star in Space Jam 2 coming to theaters near you. I think Tom Thibodeau could have coached the Monstars. Now he's going to be coaching the Minnesota Timberwolves. He's also the head of basketball operations, so Tibbs very busy these days. He took time out from his schedule to appear on Cap and Company this afternoon on ESPN 1000, reflected on his 5 seasons as Bulls head coach.
I felt I had a great job here, and I had great guys to coach. So when that part, you're disappointed that it's going to end, but you know that if you're in pro sports, these things happen, So, I was disappointed that we weren't able to win the championship, and not only for our players, but for the fans here. And as I mentioned the other day, and for Jerry, Jerry took a chance on me, and I'll always appreciate that he did that. But I enjoyed my time here, and for the most part, when you look back, I'd rather look at it in totality and think about all the positives, because the positives outweigh the negatives.
I'm going the anti-Antrell Roll exit from Chicago. We knew this was coming. It's official. Hawks forward Artemi Panarin, one of 3 finalists for the Calder Trophy. Panarin led all rookies with 77 points. He's actually 9th in the entire league in scoring. Panarin is joined by Oilers' Connor McDavid and Flyers' Shane Gostisbehere as finalists. The winner will be announced on June 22nd. Second round out of the East, Caps and Pens tied at a game apiece, game 6. 6 minutes in, former Hawk Trevor Daley with a shot. Patrick Hornquist tips it home, his 4th of the playoffs. Makes it 1-0 Pens. A minute later, Pens add another on the rush. Tom Kanaka with the great stick work there, deflecting in the rebound past Braden Holtby. It's 2-0 Pittsburgh. Second period, awful turnover by the Caps. Nick Bonino to the net. Carl Hagelin is there to clean up the loose change. The Pens withstand a third period barrage from the Caps. They win it 3-2, take a 2-1 series lead. That's going to do it for this edition of Sportsnet Central, presented by GMC.
Don't go anywhere. We're coming right back. Much more on the Cubs' victory in Pittsburgh. Plus, we'll have Pat's conversation with a pair of Bears beat writers on the team's haul in the NFL draft.
Bears.
Right here.
This is how Precision listens. Bose microphones that hear engine noise, then counter it with a sound-canceling frequency, which helps make the cabin so quiet, you don't miss a thing.
Night, Dad.
Good night, kiddo. It's called active noise cancellation, and it's available in the new, meticulously crafted 2016 Sierra from GMC. This is the precision of professional grade. Now get 15% below MSRP on select GMC Sierra 1500 models in stock. That's nearly $9,000 on this GMC Sierra Denali.
Now it's in the hands of the bullpen, and out comes Papa John.
It looks like he's taking this official pizza thing pretty seriously.
For just $6.99 each, get 2 medium, 2 topping pizzas.
Papa John's, the official pizza of Major League Baseball.
Tomorrow night, the Sox try to open up their homestead in style as they battle the boys from B-Town. Cheer on your silver and black to victory. White Sox, Red Sox, tomorrow at 7 on CSN.
A home is where life is lived. The unmistakable beauty and performance of Unilock pavers and walls enrich the quality of outdoor living, where perfect settings and cherished moments become memories that last a lifetime. Live life beautifully with Unilock.
When you paint with Frog Tape, something magical happens. Because Frog Tape is the only painting tape with patented paint block technology to give you the cleanest, sharpest lines possible. The patented paint block reacts with water and latex paint to form a microbarrier against paint bleed. Frog Tape Delicate even works on freshly painted surfaces, giving you maximum creative flexibility. For professional results when you paint, there's only one name to know. Frog Tape. Keeps paint out, keeps lines sharp.
Stevens, midfielder on your Chicago Fire, and you're watching CSN Chicago.
I always knew that Soldier Field was bad. I just never knew that the facilities were just as bad.
How about that? Antrell Roll criticizing the Bears organization on his way out the door. Welcome into Sportsnet Central, presented by GMC. Alongside Pat Boyle, I'm Mark Shanowski.
Cubs and Pirates get together for the first time since last October's playoff encounter.
Down the line, fair ball, 2-run single, 5-1.
And we'll go inside the numbers of the first-place White Sox, who are off to their best start since the World Series run of 2005.
Plus, Artemi Panarin looks to join an exclusive club of Blackhawks. We're doing our job. Sportsnet Central starts now.
To Sportsnet Central, presented by GMC.
Cubs lead 4-0, bottom of the ninth. The 2-2. Swinging a line drive, caught by Castro. Cubs win. Jake Arrieta pitches a shutout, and the Cubs start to celebrate on the infield here at PNC Park. Goodbye, Pittsburgh. Hello, St. Louis.
But was hello to Pittsburgh once again, Pat Hughes. Cubs and Pirates meeting for the first time since Madden's crew won that wild card game. PNC clubhouse attendants said they can still smell the aftermath of that Cubs celebration till this day.
That's one heck of a party.
It is. Well, they know how to do it. Jason Hamill on the bump for the Cubs, 3-0, .75 ERA. Gets into trouble in the first. Second batter he faces Andrew McCutchen, the deep right center, his 6th of the year, 1-0 Buccos. We move to the third. Garrett Cole Looking for redemption. He took a loss and allowed 4 runs in last year's wild card tilt. Runner on second, Anthony Rizzo sends one to our parent company, Xfinity. Dexter Fowler scores, tying the game at 1. Ben Zobrist up next. He sends one into right. Rizzo, come on down. Cubs take the 2-1 lead. We go to the 5th inning. It's now 3-1 Cubs after a Zobrist sac fly. Cole walks Matt Caesar to load him up. Caesar started in right for Jason Hayward, who's dealing with a wrist injury. He's day to day. That was it for Cole. 105 pitches and 4+. How about David Ross sending one down the right field line? 2 more, score, Cubs with a 5-1 advantage. We flash back to yesterday's Pirates game against the Reds. Tied at 3 in the 8th with a runner at the corners. Reds attempt a double steal. Jody Mercer throws home. Chris Stewart drops the ball. Reds score a run, and the Pirates would lose in extras. Back to tonight. Similar situation for the Cubs.
Ross takes off. He's trying to get in a rundown to allow Caesar to score. Caesar takes off to the plate. The throw there. Gets over the head of the catcher, Cervelli, and a run is in, and Ross gets second.
Great call by Madden with the pitcher up. 6-1 Cubs after 5. We go to the 7th inning now. It's a 6-2 Cubs advantage. Kyle Lobstein hits Ben Zobrist. So we flash back to last season's wild card game. Tony Watson gets Jake Arrieta. You remember this. Benches were cleared.
Yep.
Tempers flared. Sean Rodriguez had an encounter with an orange Gatorade water cooler. Never usually goes well. Back to tonight. Madden. Yep. His language more colorful than the suits that his players wore to the park tonight. Cubs would take advantage later in the inning with a runner on second and third. Lobstein, the lobber, throws a wild pitch. Zobrist scores. Cubs win 7-2. They go to 18-6 on the season. Here's Holly on why the Cubs took the series opener.
Against Garrett Cole, you run up his pitch count to 105 in the 5th. He doesn't get through 5. You get in their bullpen, you set yourself up. I mean, this has been their formula for success all season long. I love that Hamill comes out and does a fantastic job, but this team just plays well together. They feed off each other. That's the one thing that just stands out to me is that the offense takes so much pressure off the pitching. The pitching does its job, and, oh, by the way, the bullpen did a pretty nice job as well.
The guy who pitched that shutout in the wild card win over Pittsburgh, Jake Arrieta, was your unanimous choice as National League Pitcher of the Month for April. Jake won all 5 of his starts, including that no-no. Earned run average of 1. That's pretty good. Arrieta has now won the league's top pitcher honor for 3 consecutive months, dating back to last season.
That ball high and deep in the right center field, but we got a man there, makes the catch, and this ball game is over.
Another Chicago pitcher who's pretty darn good, Chris Sale, picked up his 6th victory yesterday in Baltimore, but Sale was not named the American League's Pitcher of the Month. That honor goes to Detroit's Jordan Zimmerman, who, like Sale, went 5-0 in April, but Zimmerman had the better earned run average. Still, that was one of the few disappointments so far for Sale and the Sox. They own the league's best record currently at 18-8. Boston's Rick Porcello also has an argument for winning the award after going 5-0 in April. Porcello has the most strikeouts of the group, but as you see, he also has the highest ERA. The Sox will miss Porcello during the upcoming 3-game series, and that's probably a good thing. Here's a look at some of the numbers that have contributed to the White Sox fast start. 6. That's the number of wins in the same number of starts Chris Sale has this season. The lefty is the first Sox pitcher to begin the season 6-0 since John Garland back in 2005, the year the White Sox won the World Series. Sale has allowed just 8 earned runs over 43 1/3 innings.
You can put it on the board, yes!
11-27. That's the number of home runs and RBIs the Sox have received from their second and third basemen. Now, last season through 26 games, those positions produced just 2 round trippers and 14 runs batted in.
The ball high and deep
deep in the right center field. Makes the catch, and this ball game is over.
12. That's how many road victories the White Sox already have this season in 17 games played. And to put that schedule and balance in perspective, entering Monday, there were 9 teams in the major leagues who had yet to play 9 road games this season.
With that pitch, strike 3, and the Sox have back-to-back sweeps.
12 is also the number of games Sox pitchers have allowed 1 or 0 runs. That's the most times the team has done that through the first 26 games of the season since 1963. And the only time it's been done in the majors since 1981. Actually, tomorrow night to the opener of a 3-game series against Boston. Jose Quintana on the mound against Red Sox starter Stephen Wright. We're going to set the table right here on Sportsnet Central at 6:30. And Jason Benetti and Steve Stone have the play-by-play call at 7, followed by White Sox postgame live with Chuck and Bill. And speaking of Bill, he came downstairs from his palatial penthouse suite to discuss the Sox with Kip Lewis.
The Sox 10 games over 500 and in first place in the Central, 26 games into the season. And Bill, what's impressed you most about this team so far?
Well, first of all, the position they're in right here. I mean, nobody expected in April for a White Sox team to come out and be playing this well. But I guess, you know, the biggest surprise is how that group got together, that cohesive group got together, because the thing that's making this ball club right now, pitching and defense. And I'm going to the bullpen, too. So starting, pitching, and the bullpen is really what solidified this team to this point. Now, we get the big home runs. Yeah, this is a team that just won't give up. Last year when we were down 2 or 3 runs in the 6th or 7th inning, we were done. It just doesn't feel that way. It doesn't feel that way with the players. It doesn't feel that way with a fan when you watch them. So I think that has an awful lot to do with it, plus all the veterans.
The first MVP through the first month of the season is probably Chris Sale, but a close runner-up could be Brett Lowry, a guy who's had a pretty good bat. His defense is Gold Glove worthy this season. Your thoughts on the way he's played?
I think his Gold Glove worthiness is in the clubhouse. This is a guy that's got an energy level the White Sox have never seen, and I think that's one of the reasons. I keep bringing up the name Nick Swisher. Not only bringing that up for the first couple of years with the White Sox, that's what they needed in the clubhouse. And then after a while, he wore himself out. Lowry's that high-energy guy the White Sox didn't have last year. I think that's one of the reasons you see guys, a lot of high-five, a lot of good things are going on. This is what happens when you win games. When you lose games, when we see this, I think with Lowry you will, but the rest of them, I don't know.
You mentioned the offense. It's been a little bit slow to start the season, but picked up as of late. Do you think that's what we're going to see as this season goes along? Much better offense and much better hitting from this White Sox team?
Always see better hitting when the weather gets warm. The U.S. Cellular Field is a home run at Here's Ballpark. It's a very good park to hit in. I like our pitching, the advantage they have over other teams. But when our offense gets going, we're going to get guys. We got 3 or 4 guys now in the lineup that get home runs. I like the mixture of Jimmy Rollins, as shortstop. Again, we got the veteran presence. And I think what's really helped this ball club is Ricky Renteria. Because we have somebody now that can communicate with the Latin players, but do it in their language. We don't have interpreters say, hey, go tell this guy. They're talking to a guy that's been in baseball. And when a guy's going bad, a Latin player, you got to be able to speak in their language and so they don't feel intimidated, and I think that's what Ricky Renteria has done.
Bill, as always, we appreciate your time. That does it for us. Let's go back to you.
Thank you, guys. Rangers and Blue Jays squaring off tonight. Pick things up for you in the 8th. Deadlocked at 1. Former White Sox Gavin Floyd on the bump. Serves one up to Nomar Mazara. Solo shot right down the middle of the fairway. His 3rd of the year. Rangers up 2-1. Bottom half, Jose Bautista up with 2 on against Sam Dyson. This show has more flashbacks than The Godfather 1, 2, and 3. But remember last time, Joey Bats faced Dyson, the infamous bat flip. Game 5, the ALCS, the go-ahead 3-run homer. Back to tonight, Bautista lines one to right.
No bat flip?
Is there? No damage done either.
Why do we flash back?
I don't know, we like it. We're into it. Can't you tell? Must have had a meeting. After a walk, bases loaded for Troy Tulowitzki. Sends one to right. Is it deep enough? Not so much. Mazare with the cannon to get Michael Saunders.
That reminds me of playing the Braves Pirates in 1991 in LCS.
Dave Parker. Rangers hold on to win. 2-1 is your final. Coming up, Tom Thibodeau reflects about his time coaching the Bulls, reveals his biggest regret over his 5 seasons here in Chicago. Meanwhile, on his way out the door, Antrell Roll takes a few parting shots at the Bears. And we'll ask a couple Bears insiders, Adam Johns and Rich Campbell,
which Bears draft pick intrigues them most, and Jay Cutler's job security strengthens, huh?
You have a vision. It's behind everything you do. Even when you least expect it, it comes through. You know what you want, and we can help make it real. You need choices? We've got all kinds, including special finishes and papers. And they're all absolutely guaranteed because you have a vision and we have your card. 500 start at just $9.99 when you enter BC 500 at Vistaprint.com.
Do you have too much debt? Lawsuit, repossession, wage deduction? Are you looking for a good lawyer and good advice? I'm attorney Peter Francis Geraci. Ask your friends, family, or coworkers, who should I trust? When they say, go to Geraci Law, you'll know you made the right choice. Call now to see if you qualify for Chapter 7 or 13 debt relief.
When you need to be debt-free, call 1-800-CALL-PFG. That's 1-800-CALL-PFG.
Hi, Russ for U.S. Waterproofing. Looking for a company to repair your home can be stressful. Look to us, as many of your neighbors have, like Mrs. O'Brien in Elmhurst. We sealed cracks in her crawl space. Or Mr. Weber in Orland Park. We installed a battery backup sump pump. And Mr. Kaplan in Northbrook. He needed structural repair after he noticed cracks in his brickwork. We've helped many of your neighbors. Schedule your free consultation today at seepage.com. U.S. Waterproofing. A better basement starts with us.
In 1931, Auguste Piccard became the first man to reach the stratosphere. Three decades later, his son Jacques became the first to reach the ocean's deepest point. What's your wild rabbit? Hennessy. Never stop, never settle.
Quiet on the set. Take 73. What? It's just saving big is no laughing matter at the Bob Roman Auto Group. Over 7,000 new and used cars online at BobRorman.com.
There's only one Bob Roman.
NBA playoff action. The Cavaliers have not played since eliminating Detroit a week ago Sunday, and they have plenty of energy after the long layoff. Kyrie Irving to LeBron James, who throws one down. They're going nuts at the Q. The home team up by 18, but Atlanta with a furious rally. Kent Bazemore knocks down the three. He had 16 on the night, capped off a 16-3 Atlanta run. They draw within 5. Fourth quarter, Hawks trailing by just 1. Pretty alley-oop play. Al Horford with the slam, and the visitors are leading. Schroeder had 27 points off the bench for Atlanta to lead all scorers, but LeBron carried the Cavs down the stretch. He gets the bucket here and a foul. 25 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists for LeBron. Cavaliers beat the Hawks in Game 1, 104-93. As for teams not in the playoff hunt, well, that would be the Minnesota Timberwolves and their new head coach, Tom Thibodeau. He's already hard at work preparing for his first draft since arriving in Minneapolis. Tibbs took some time out from his schedule to appear on David Kaplan's radio show on ESPN 1000 this afternoon, and Tibbs reflected on his 5 seasons as head coach of the Bulls.
I felt I had a great job here, and I had great guys to coach. So when that part, though, you're disappointed that it's going to end, but you know that if you're in pro sports, these things happen. So I was disappointed that we weren't able to win the championship, and not only for our players but for the fans here. And as I mentioned the other day, and for Jerry, Jerry took a chance on me, and I'll always appreciate that he did that. But I enjoyed my time here. For the most part, when you look back, I'd rather look at it in totality and think about all the positives, because the positives outweigh the negatives.
That's an example of taking the high road when you leave town. This is not. The Antrell Roll Show, it didn't work out here in Chicago, on the field or in this very studio. The veteran safety came to Chicago known for his durability, but he only played in 7 games for the Bears, and he lasted about that many shows here at Comcast Sportsnet.
Did I write that lead in?
No, you did not.
That's normally my style.
Injuries kept Roll from doing either job, and today on The Score, Roll suggested that the Hallis Hall practice field was the main reason that he sprained his MCL.
I was just pretty much shuffling. I wasn't even running. I was just shuffling. And, I just tried to change direction, and I slipped on the surfaces. And, because of my ankle and because of all the tape, the only thing that was able to give was my knee. So my knee had to take on all that force and the impact. And, even the doctor said it's very unusual to find a tear that I had with a non-contact injury. And I think, the surface had a whole lot to do with it. And, it happens, man. The facilities are good, in Chicago. The fields are just not as good. I always knew that Soldier Field was bad. I just never knew that, the facilities were, just as bad.
Let's talk about the Bears with the Tribune's Rich Campbell and the Sun-Times' Adam Johns. Guys, let's start with the Bears' first 3 picks, Leonard Floyd, Cody Whitehair, and Jonathan Bullard. Who do you think will have the more impactful rookie season? Adam, begin with you.
I'm going to go with Cody Whitehair. Matt Slauson is gone. He wasn't an athletic fit. He wasn't a scheme fit. Cody Whitehair is the second-round pick. And all he has to do is beat out Ted Larson. Look, Ted Larson is a pretty good player, but Whitehair's upside it's there, guys. He is a second-round pick. He could have been a first-round pick. Larson is going to be able to handle him.
Yeah, it's a tough argument against that, but I'm going to go with Leonard Floyd, Adam, because I think that the Bears will be able to at least plug Floyd into pass rushing situations and let him get after the quarterback and do what he does best. They have so many questions about whether he can put on weight and keep it on and handle blockers in the run game defensively, but ultimately he could still make an impact just getting around the edge, using the athleticism, make a couple high-impact turnover-forcing plays, disrupt the quarterback, and make an impact that way.
Guys, when you look at rounds 4 through 7 and the 6 players that Ryan Pace selected there, who out of those half-dozen players intrigues you most, starting with you, Rich?
Well, I'm going to go with William & Mary's DeAndre Houston Carson, the free safety they drafted in the second round. Additionally, my hometown bias of Williamsburg, Virginia. DeAndre Houston Carson was an All-American corner, converted to free safety, and became a really good tackler. Not only that, he's a dynamic special teams player, 9 blocks. He covers kicks and punts. He's going to be able to make an impact from the get-go and be used in a lot of different ways.
I'm going to go with Jordan Howard, the running back out of Indiana. Very good value in the 5th round. This guy could have been a day 2 selection, according to some analysts. And look, he's a different running back than Jeremy Langford. Langford is the speedster. Howard is the punishing running back. Look, Kadeem Carey has a similar running style, but he is much smaller than Howard. Howard is 230 pounds. Again, a very punishing runner. He'll complement Jeremy Langford very well in John Fox's wave of running backs.
No quarterback taken in the draft for the Bears. Brian Hoyer signed as a backup. Looks like Jay Cutler's job security with the Bears continues to strengthen.
Well, it's not getting any weaker right now. That's for sure. I mean, I think Jay emerges from the draft not only a winner because they didn't draft his successor, but they continued to fortify the supporting cast, both with Whitehair on the offensive line. They've got him a running back that can help salt some of these games away. Defensively, they should be more dynamic, maybe get the ball back a few more times. Jay's really going to benefit from some of the picks that they made in the supporting cast, not just the fact that they didn't take the guy who's going to take over for him.
Even if the Bears did draft a quarterback, too, there was no guarantee that this was going to be the eventual replacement for Jay Cutler. Look, they weren't going to take a quarterback in the 1st round. It would be a stretch if they took one in the 2nd round. Look, Jay Cutler won over Ryan Pace. He won over John Fox. He has Dow Loggins, a guy he's known for a long time now as his offensive coordinator. The Bears are his team, and like Rich said, they've done so many moves on defense and offense to really give him a strong supporting cast. They're moving forward with Cutler, so I don't have a problem with them not drafting the quarterback whatsoever.
Adam Johns and Rich Campbell, thanks as always, guys. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, Pat.
We'll find out about all these guys in the next 3 years or so. Well, coming up, Blackhawks rookie Artemi Panarin. We learned how good he was right away. The bread man hoping to join Patrick Kane in some very exclusive company. The details in Sportsnet Central return.
Raise your hand if you've got savings whiplash. You know, from car insurance companies shouting, save $500 over here. No, save $300 over here. Wait, save $400 right here. With so many places offering so much buck saving, where do you start? Well, Esurance was born online, raised by technology, and majors in efficiency. So they're actually built to save you money. And when they save, you save. That's auto and home insurance for the modern world. Esurance, an Allstate company. Click or call.
Tomorrow night, the Sox try to open up their homestead in style as they battle the boys from B-Town. Cheer on your silver and black to victory. White Sox, Red Sox, tomorrow at 7 on CSN.
Turning in the grain again, the bells began to chime. Time, she says, there's no turning back.
You can pass down a Subaru Forester. She's all yours. But you get to keep the memories.
Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Win tickets to see baseball on the North Side. Visit csnchicago.com/Seinfeld. Vote for your favorite Seinfeld video to enter for your chance to win the grand prize or one of 20 prize packs. Sponsored by WCIU, The U.
When our troops don't come back, someone has to help their families move forward.
My family lost so much.
It was a shock.
It was a void.
Special Operations Warrior Foundation was there for me.
Without Special Operations Warrior Foundation, I don't know how we would all afford to go to college.
Now through July 31st, a portion of each sale of specially marked Cherry Extra Strength 5-hour energy shots benefits the Special Operations Warrior Foundation.
We hope you'll join the fight.
Tomorrow night, the Sox try to open up their homestead in style as they battle the boys from B-Town. Cheer on your silver and black to victory. White Sox, Red Sox, tomorrow at 7 on CSN. Can you name the 2016 Cubs opening day starting outfield? Or spell Jake Petrinchka? Come out for our next taping of Beer Money this Thursday at 6 at Turtles Bar and Grill. Test your sports knowledge and win big. Beer Money, presented by Coors Light.
Back on Sportsnet Central with the official news. Hawks forward Artemi Panarin is one of 3 finalists for the Calder Trophy. The Breadman led all rookies with 77 points. He was 9th in the entire league in scoring. Panarin is joined by the Oilers' Connor McDavid and the Flyers' Shane Gostisbehere as Calder finalists. The winner will be announced June 22nd. Patrick Kane was the last Hawk to win the Rookie of the Year back in 2008.
Now it's time to name our GMC professional grade player. We're going with Jason Hamill. He improved his record to 4-0 on the season in a win over the Pirates. Hamill allowing 2 earned runs in 5+ innings on the mound. He also played a role in what turned out to be another heated confrontation between these division rivals over hit batsmen.
It's part of the game. It happens, and then you have to have a little fun with it, and we did.
Which part was fun with that?
The fact that Zarilla was fine, and then I was able to vent a little bit. It's always fun to vent, isn't it? I mean, we've all been there. You have to vent on occasion. It's the worst thing you could possibly do for your health long term is to hold that stuff in, so I wanted to get it out.
Interesting comments, as always, from Joe Madden. How about the Phillies and Cardinals meeting up down in St. Louis? Cardinals trailed 3-0 in the 4th. Adam Wainwright gave up those 3 runs, but he got one back himself. A 3-run homer to left. We're all tied at 3. The Cardinals playing long ball again in the bottom of the 6th. Matt Adams and Aledmus Diaz have liftoff. Back-to-back jacks for the home team put the Cardinals up 5-3. But in the next inning, it would happen again. Colton Wong deep to right field. The next batter, Randall Grichuk. That's going out as well. The second set of back-to-back homers in as many innings. Cardinals with 5 long balls on the night. And they roll to an easy win over the Phillies. 10-3 is your final.
Time now for the plays of the day presented by Lexus. Back to Cleveland for number 3, Cavs Hawks. Nice bounce pass by LeBron James. Moving on up to Richard Jefferson. LeBron splitting the defenders. Nice bounce pass. The art of the bounce pass. Cavs win.
Number 2, Rangers and Blue Jays. Troy Tulowitzki flies out to right. Nomar Mazara guns down the runner with a great throw. Check it out again. Mazara on a line to the plate to get the double play. He also homered, leading the Rangers to a 2-1 win.
Improbable story for number 1 from the English Premier League. Chelsea's Eden Hazard scores a wonderful goal here, but that's not the story. The draw between Chelsea and Tottenham means that Leicester City, you are the Premier League champions. Fans in Leicester doing what Leicestonians do when their team wins the EPL League as the longest of long shots, 5,000 to 1 at the beginning of the year. They're calling it the biggest upset in modern day sports. I'd like to add to it, but I did not watch an EPL game this year.
No, somewhere Al Michaels was saying, do you believe in miracles?
Thanks for watching Sportsnet Central, presented by GMC. Chris Bowden is back at midnight.
So long.
Quiet on the set. Pick 73. What? It's a... Saving big is no laughing matter at the Bob Roman Auto Group. Over 7,000 new and used cars online at BobRorman.com.
There's only one Bob Roman.
When you have past due debt, lawsuits, garnishments, payday loans, bill collectors, or foreclosure, who can you trust? I'm attorney Peter Francis Geraci. Every year, clients trust Geraci Law to eliminate or consolidate almost $1.2 billion in debt. Click on Geraci Law for real stories about the good things we do every day for real people just like you.
When you need to be debt-free, call 1-800-CALL-PFG. That's 1-800-CALL-PFG. The biggest day of the week just got bigger because DirecTV is throwing you more ways to watch the NFL than ever before. With NFL Sunday Ticket, now you can stream every out-of-market game every Sunday, live on your favorite screens at no extra charge. Just when you thought game day couldn't get any bigger, now catch games at home and on the go. For the most live football action anywhere, order NFL Sunday Ticket, streaming now included, only on DirecTV.
If your family is complete, the most reliable form of contraception is a vasectomy. The board-certified urologists at Advanced Urology Associates specialize in no-scalpel outpatient procedures. A vasectomy is the most effective form of contraception, so you can enjoy the exact same sexual function. Take advantage of your 2015 health benefits before your deductible and co-insurance reset in 2016. Now is the best time to schedule that procedure you've been putting off. Advanced Urology Associates. Safe, simple, and effective.
Huge spring sell-off during the spring clearance event at Feeney Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Elgin. Get our lowest prices on our entire inventory. Cars, trucks, minivans, and more Jeeps than we need. All with 0% financing available. Look at this 2016 Wrangler, just $299 a month. Or a 2016 Ram 1500 Quad Cab, $299 a month. Both with zero due. Or this 2016 Dodge Caravan, only $16,997. Find it at Feeney. FeeneyAutos.com.
You are watching Fight Sports.
And here comes Canelo Saul Alvarez, 37-0 with a draw, 27 knockouts from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. Both fighters are from Guadalajara. This kid's an interesting guy. He turned pro in October of 2005 with a fourth-round TKO win over Abraham Gonzalez in Jalisco. And he KO'd 11 of his first 13 opponents. And Dave, he's had some interesting victories as well. In May of 10, he stopped Jose Miguel Cotto in Las Vegas. In September, he stopped Carlos Baldomir. In December of 10, he defeated Lovemore Ndu, who's watching in Australia. March this year, he won a 12-round victory over Matthew Hatton, Ricky Hatton's younger brother, and he won his world title over Ryan Rhodes last time out.
He's been on a good roll. He really has grown significantly in stature over the last couple of years. We'd heard all the drum beats about what was expected of him, and now those expectations are being fulfilled, maybe even a little bit on the early side.
Well, he's just 21 years of age. That's another thing that you forget. This kid is very, very popular, not just by the Mexican fight fans, by, as you mentioned, the Irish fight fans. They all thought he was Irish because of the red hair.
You better believe it. What a great international thing for him to expand his audience. And just a natural, nice guy. He's even gotten into the promotional ranks on some of the Golden Boy telecasts. So this is a guy with an incredible tailwind promotionally and from a marketing standpoint to go with his considerable boxing ability.
Well, if he wins this WBC Super Welterweight Championship defense against Gomez. It's unfortunate he doesn't speak any English because his marketability will really soar on this stage with a huge pay-per-view buy. Now remember, we told you that Jim Lampley from HBO in the United States will be calling this fight live because Dave and I are actually in the arena here in Las Vegas, and we'll be calling what we see, and Lampley will be calling it for the audience that's in attendance here. This is the scene in Las Vegas. Saul Alvarez and Alfonso Gomez for the WBC Super Welterweight title. Wayne Hedgepeth will be the referee. The ring announcer over there is Joe Martinez, and this fight is about to get underway. Alejandro Rochin, Ray Corona, and Samuel Conde will be the judges of this fight. The tail of the tape will tell you a few things. Alvarez an inch shorter, a pound heavier, 9 years younger, 2 inches advantage in reach.
And the rules, no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight. You go to the scorecards at the end of round 4 in the case of an accidental butt, and a fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round.
So the stage is just about set. Here we go, Joe.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Staples Center here in the sports capital of the world, Los Angeles, California. Mayweather Promotions and Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions, in association with Canelo Promotions, present to you the main event of the evening. Una guerra entre dos tapatíos. 12 rounds scheduled for the WBC Super Welterweight Championship of the World. Sponsored by Tecate, Cerveza con Carácter, DeWalt Power Tools, new 20-volt max lithium-ion system, AT&T, get it faster with 4G, rethink possible. Southwest Airlines, fly Southwest, it's the right call. And Cancun Tourism, Cancun, discover paradise. Sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission, the chairman, John Frierson, executive officer, George Dobb. Physicians at ringside, Dr. Leandro Gattus and Dr. Blair Cranston. Your timekeepers in charge of the bell and counting for knockdowns, Willie Arriola and John Lechting. WBC supervisor in attendance, Mike George. Your 3 judges scoring this bout on the 10-point must system at ringside. From California, Max DeLuca. From California, Ray Corona. And from Mexico, Alejandro Rochin. When the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, from California, Wayne Hedgepeth. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the judges are ready and the fighters are ready. Los peleadores están listos. Ciudad de Los Ángeles, dile al mundo, make some noise if you are ready. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white trunks, trim, and the flag of Mexico, green, white, and red. Official weight 152 1/2 pounds. As a professional, his record is outstanding. 23 victories, 4 defeats with 2 draws and 12 wins coming by way of knockout. De Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, el retador, the challenger, Alfonso And next, his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. Wearing gold trunks with red and green trim, he weighed in 153 1/2 pounds. As a young professional, he enters the ring perfect. 37 victories, no defeats, 1 draw, 27 wins by way of knockout. De Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, the reigning, defending, undefeated WBC Super Welterweight Champion of the World, Saul Canelo Alvarez.
Good evening, gentlemen. This is for the WBC Championship. You good here? You got your instructions in the dressing room? Obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect yourself. Touch them up and come out the bell.
All right, Dave, so we see a nice crowd in attendance over at the Staples Center, about 150 miles from Las Vegas, in Los Angeles. Alfonso Gomez decked out in the white trunks with the multicolored Mexico flag. He's to the bottom of your screen to the left with his back to you right now. And in the gold trunks is Saul Alvarez. Alvarez, the reigning champ. Alfonso Gomez.
Eventually, we would figure that Gomez is going to try to come at Alvarez. And then Alvarez can move side to side and try to do his damage there.
Alvarez doing a lot of waiting right now. Gomez only has 12 knockouts in his 23 victories, so he's not considered a very big puncher. And Alvarez, on the other hand, has 27 knockouts in his 37 victories, so he can bang a bit.
And, you know, for Alvarez, the stakes keep going up every fight. He's in front of a huge live audience. He's fighting just before Floyd Mayweather, a huge worldwide stage. And, you know, he's right in the middle of it here.
Alvarez, 37-0 with a draw. And you hear them in Los Angeles chanting Canelo. And that's the nickname of Saul Alvarez, Canelo. Or in English, Canelo. You know, he doesn't seem too aggressive here. He's kind of feeling out Alfonso Gomez in the first round.
He takes a left hook. And I think some of the butterflies might be there. Yeah, until he can loosen up a little bit. This is all a big deal. It's the biggest stage ever. And he needs a little time to settle into his attack.
Gomez gets off his combination, tries to get the jab in the face of Canelo. Saul Alvarez doing a lot of waiting through the first couple of minutes here. And you might be right, a little tentativeness on his side, but now he picks it up a bit, gets a nice jab through, then the combination. Wow, with the left hand goes Alfonso Gomez. Gomez to the left of your screen. Canelo with the red hair and the gold trunks. Alvarez is a farm boy from Jalisco. Loves to ride his horse. Anybody that likes horses, I like. And I know you with the nickname of Pony Boy. Like.
Man after our own heart right there. And I think that in the second round you should see a different look from Alvarez.
Well, it's clear. Oh, look at that. There's a shot and there's the power. And down goes Alfonso Gomez. He's right back up.
We may not have to wait that long.
Yeah. Takes the standing 8 count from Wayne Hedgepeth. And the bell ends at round number 1. So, you know, Alvarez was cruising along, and I was thinking of giving that round to Alfonso Gomez. All of a sudden, it turns around completely, and Alvarez gets a 10-8 round.
Canelo Alvarez is boxing's #1 star. Amir Khan has boxing's fastest hands. Live on pay-per-view.
Hard right hand by Canelo.
Unparalleled power.
First round for Khan.
Unsurpassed speed.
This is my time. Let's do this.
Canelo versus Khan, live on pay-per-view.
Thanks. Who you see in there? Ooh, retro. Very sharp.
Gamefly. Play all your favorite console games. Start your free trial at gamefly.com today. Products rated E through M.
What would an extra $250 a month mean to you? Up to $3,000 a year in savings could be yours if you refinance your mortgage with the Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP, through Quicken Loans. Homeowners who refinance through HARP save an average of $250 a month. There's less paperwork, often no appraisal required, and will work to get you closed in 30 days or less. It's that simple. Call Quicken Loans today for a mortgage experience that's engineered to amaze.
What does it mean to be fit? It's eating, bleeding, needing to do more. Knowing you earned it. Knowing you changed. When you get there, everything fits. Bodybuilding.com. 20 million customers can't be wrong.
Here we go, round number 2. Saul Alvarez, the champion in his first title defense, decked out in the gold and white trunks with the black shoes and the red hair. Gomez, who made his bones on the reality show The Contender, very popular fighter, but nowhere near, I would think, of the popularity of Saul Alvarez continues to rise. Alvarez, for all the aggressiveness of Gomez in the first round, he ends up winning the first round. So whatever his game plan is, it's working now.
I mean, that could be a 3-point turnaround. If you're going to give him the round 10-9 to Gomez, and then you go 10-8 to Alvarez, then that little situation there is worth 3 points. The huge swing in favor of Alvarez.
Alvarez still continues to take his time as Gomez comes through. And Dave, you said Gomez's best shot in this is to just let it fly and go all out in the early going of this fight. And that appears to, I mean, he was on his way to winning the first round, I thought. But every time that he catches up with Alvarez, Alvarez gets that adrenaline flow and counters him very, very well and looks to be much more powerful than Gomez.
But Gomez has had more straight-ahead type fights that I've seen, and Alvarez has shown more lateral movement and getting some good power off of that movement.
Some very good sportsmanship there by Alvarez. He had Gomez with his back to him, and he could have whaled him to the side of the head, but he let himself let Gomez turn all the way around before he started boxing again. And had he hit him, it wouldn't have been an illegal punch. What is illegal is to turn your back on your opponent, which Gomez did.
Yeah, that was a nice move by Alvarez.
Left hook, chopping right hand to the side of the head. 2 minutes gone here in round number 2 from the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Saul Alvarez defending his title for the first time and apparently doing a pretty good job of it so far.
No pushing, no pushing, no pushing.
Well, you can hear the popularity of Alvarez as you hear them chanting in Los Angeles, Canelo, Canelo.
He's a cult hero.
And again, he's only 21 years of age, and the fans really, really like him. There's a lot of Mexicans came up from the Tijuana area to Los Angeles to see him fight as well in Los Angeles. Mexican Independence Day. All right, the bell ends the second round. I think Alvarez's round as well.
I'm your spokesperson. This is an important message for anyone who took the prescription drug Xarelto or Pradaxa and had a serious bleeding event. If you or a loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered from a serious bleeding event,
call 800-224-0581 immediately.
Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to serious internal bleeding, stroke, and death.
Call 800-224-0581 immediately.
You may be entitled to compensation. Call now for a free consultation.
On a Saturday morning in May, we join together, and together we join the fight against epilepsy. We walk for Mason and Johnny. We walk for Brandy and Ella. Rain or shine, we walk for all who have epilepsy, so they may have a better life today and a future that is seizure-free.
Join the fight!
Who are you walking for? Register now at epilepsychicago.org.
If you have used the blood-thinning drug Xarelto, you may be at a higher risk for serious internal bleeding. If you or a loved one have taken Xarelto and suffered internal bleeding, gastrointestinal bleeding, kidney bleeding, brain hemorrhaging, or your loved one died, call the Rely On Group.
If you or a loved one took this drug and were injured, call the Rely On Group right now.
Call the Rely On Group now at 800-234-3116 for a free consultation.
His title from Hatton and then defended against Brian Rose. So in reality, I think I said this was his first title defense. It's his second title defense because he won his title 2 fights ago from Hatton's younger brother. All right, this is round 3. And he looks like he's well on his way to defending his title again. But it's early yet. Alfonso Gomez trying to force the fight, as Dave said he must.
He's trying to slip inside the jab and come in on Alvarez, and he has to maximize every chance when he gets close. But he's having a hard time cutting off the ring here. He needs to take a quick step to his right and get to that spot ahead of Alvarez.
Alfonso Gomez looks like he has a bit of a cut by his left eye, and the action opens up. And Alvarez, every time he gets hit, he explodes. A minute gone here. Nice movement by Alvarez. Now we get this view and see if we can see that cut by the left eye, I believe, of Alfonso.
Let him out, let him out.
Pulls him down. Alfonso does with that elbow.
The uppercut would have been a better idea for him there.
Absolutely.
The jab hand of Alvarez plus the shoulder rubbing into that eye area may be spelling some trouble for Gomez.
The chant continues. Canelo, Canelo. Those left hooks were taken on the elbow of Canelo Alvarez. Alvarez doing about what he wants here. He's dictating the flow in this fight. Although Alfonso Gomez is trying to force the fight as much as he can. But that's his only shot at winning this thing. He's got to force the fight.
And that's been the story of his career. Take your shots. Yeah, he was unheralded before the Contender. Underdog against Gatti. He's been in a lot of fights where nobody expected much. So, why not just go for it?
.15 seconds to go in round 3 of the scheduled 12-rounder. Heavier blows continue to be landed by Saul Alvarez. Nice uppercut. Can't take anything away from Gomez for hustle.
Canelo Alvarez is boxing's #1 star. Amir Khan has boxing's fastest hands. Live on pay-per-view.
Hard right hand by Canelo.
Unparalleled power.
Time first round for Khan.
Unsurpassed speed.
This is my time. Let's do this.
Canelo versus Khan, live on pay-per-view.
Don't like shopping for clothes? That's why there's 5-4 Club. Membership in 5-4 Club ensures new clothing every month right to your doorstep. For $60 per month, members receive a variety of original items that helps to expand their wardrobe over time. With exclusive designs crafted in-house, we curate and deliver the latest fashion. To date, more than 100,000 men have trusted the design experts at 5-4 to liven up their look. To become a member, go to 54club.com and start building your closet today.
This is the scene. We showed you the wide shot as it is here in Las Vegas. And that's no knockdown. This is round 4 in Los Angeles.
Don't push him down.
In the white trunks is Alfonso Gomez. In the gold is Alvarez. There was a knockdown of sorts in the first round. When we had a chance to look at the replay, we questioned whether there was a punch behind it. It doesn't appear that it's going to be a major factor because in reality, Alvarez is taking this guy to school. And as I say that, I'm not taking anything away from Gomez because he's battling hard right now.
Yeah, he's really getting on the inside and trying to wage this battle. Being close and letting his hands go. Oh, that uppercut from Alvarez. Be aware of that on the inside. That was sneaky.
Gomez actually having a very good first minute of this 4th round and approaching the halfway point. He may steal this round, and he needs to. He's got to start putting some rounds in the bank before it gets too much further along. Now Alvarez is on the ropes because that's where he wants to be. As he comes with uppercuts, then he opens up a little bit. Now the jab, wild with the uppercut. All the time, tap, tap, tap in the face by Gomez. And the chopping right hand. Gomez could still win this round.
Hey, if you're Gomez and you think you've done a good job in the round, you can back off a little bit here. Yeah, you've put the pressure on, take Alvarez out of his comfort zone.
I don't think, Dave, that when Alvarez is in the ring that there is any zone that isn't comfortable to him. He's that kind of fighter.
And he's been quite prolific, but in his last 2 fights, we're seeing more lengthier fights from him. He tries to pile up points. So Gomez, you try to stay in the fight.
Yeah, well, with Matthew Hatton, different thing, trying to win the title and then winning the title, and then in his first title defense against Ryan Rhodes, it took a while. 12 rounds it was scheduled for, and the crowd in attendance in Los Angeles loves it, and the crowd in Las Vegas getting into it as well. That ends the 4th round. I got to give that to Gomez.
I think so.
The following is an urgent message for men from Dr. Cloyce Martin, medical doctor and pathologist.
When you're in your 20s, your prostate's about the size of a walnut. But with age, it can grow up to the size of a lemon. Your prostate gland surrounds your urethra, so even the slightest swelling starts to cause problems.
An enlarged prostate can lead to more frequent bathroom trips, taking longer to urinate, or waking at night to urinate. These problems will only get worse with age.
I recommend Super Beta Prostate. It's a breakthrough supplement for men which can help you reduce the problems that come along with an aging prostate.
Call or go online in the next 10 minutes and we'll ship you a free 30-day supply of Super Beta Prostate. Super Beta Prostate has the natural ingredients you need to reduce the symptoms of an aging prostate. This means less urges to urinate, less waking at night to urinate, improved bladder emptying, and improved quality of life.
Super Beta Prostate is made with a scientific breakthrough ingredient called beta-cytosterol. I've reviewed the clinical studies myself, and they show that Super Beta Prostate can effectively reduce the symptoms of an aging prostate.
Super Beta Prostate is so powerful, you'd have to take 100 salt palmetto pills to get the same amount of beta-cytosterol as just one Super Beta Prostate tablet.
I've gotten used to getting up multiple times a night and, I kind of adapted to that, you might say. I thought that was maybe normal, and once I started taking Super Beta, it just changed my life.
Now with Super Beta, I find that I can comfortably get to my destination without the concern of this uncontrollable urge to want to use the bathroom.
If you have problems because of your aging prostate, I recommend Super Beta Prostate. I use it myself because it really works.
Get your free bottle of Super Beta Prostate today. Due to extremely limited supplies, only one free bottle per household. Call right now to get your free bottle while it's still free. Just pay shipping and handling. Call 800-513-2058. 800-513-2058. 800-513-2058.
This is round 5 in the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Alvarez may have dropped that last round, but he's still in front in the fight. Alfonso had his best round of the fight in the 4th round. I think he won it. It's very difficult to tell from calling it on the monitor how heavy the punches are. And oftentimes that makes the difference because I know that Alvarez is much heavier handed.
Gomez continues to cooperate stylistically for Alvarez. He may walk into an uppercut.
Alvarez just looks so totally relaxed, almost too relaxed. Now look at Gomez. In reality, you know, Dave, Alfonso Gomez is a bit of step up in class for Saul Alvarez, too.
That, you know, based on the fighters he's been in against.
Yeah, Gomez certainly isn't wilting against this guy. He shows no fear whatsoever.
Coming straight at him.
He's trying to do everything he can do. He knew he had to start fast, and even though we gave Alvarez, you know, the first 3 rounds, Gomez is having another real decent first half of this 5th round and is crawling back into the fight.
He's starting to duck the head, get inside, and fire shots. And there's going to be some point in this fight where they're each going to throw a big punch at the same time, and somebody's going to win that battle big. But they're launching some good shots.
With a minute to go, Alvarez better pick it up or he's going to let this round slip away, and he does. They exchange jabs. Alvarez is supposed to be an inch shorter than Gomez, and he looks like he's about 1.5 inches taller.
He's using his jab well to do that. There was a good uppercut by Alvarez.
And a good solid shot that time, too. Now, this is one of the rounds, Dave, that we're going to have to rely on the judges in California to call that, because what looked like some pretty heavy punches off the hands of Alvarez could be the difference in this round. I mean, Gomez is pressuring him, but we talked about effective aggressiveness. Closing seconds now of the 5th. I have to mark that on my score sheet as even. The judges won't do that, but I really can't give you any indication because I don't know how heavy those punches were.
Hi, I'm Scott Hoke at the Dream Giveaway Garage with the most amazing Dream Giveaway yet. In World War II, many battles were won by the speed and the power of the Hellcat fighter planes. This year, Dodge produced the most powerful muscle car ever, the Hellcat. And to stay true to the experimental prototype, Dream Giveaway built the world's one and only turbocharged and supercharged Hellcat X, generating over 800 horsepower. Now, you can't buy this Hellcat X anywhere, but you can win it by making a donation to support some fantastic charities. And that's not all. The winner also takes home this 1970 Challenger RT440 Magnum, the star of a TV commercial, plus $40,000 for taxes.
I can't believe that we won.
So don't wait any longer. The only Hellcat X in the world, and this classic Challenger RT could be yours.
Contest ends soon, so call 888-690-7576 or visit HellCatX.com to double your tickets today.
Boy, is he totally confident and relaxed there.
Muy bien. Pásame poquito hielo, ¿no? La bolsa. Just another day at the office for him.
Pásame más grasita. Ten cuidado en los contragolpes, porque a veces el güey es loco, vuelve rápido y te puede...
He's doing a nice job bringing some fight out of him.
Manos arriba, regresa rápido la mano y más velocidad, métele más velocidad.
Helping him look good.
Ya,